If you're a basketball player but just a recreational golfer like Caitlin is, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespects the LPGA golfers by thinking she can go into this tournament and do anything. There are actually fans that think she can make birdies or even pars. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's golf a bad name. So the kid is set up for failure right from the beginning.
The majority of people think that an athlete may be out of their level if they receive criticism from legends like Geno Auriemma. What if, however, such belief is entirely false? What if Caitlin Clark is about to redefine what it means to be a multi-sport athlete, even if she is referred to as a leisure golfer? Stay tuned, because her reaction to Auriemma's critical remarks completely altered our perception of crossover stars. Although Caitlin Clark is hardly used to criticism, nobody anticipated that renowned UConn head coach Geno Auriemma would criticize her golf skills. In a recent interview, Auriemma made a number of hurtful comments, casting doubt on Clark's capacity to play on the LPGA and calling her aspirations to become a professional golfer delusional. He referred to her as a leisure golfer and said she didn't have the necessary skill set to deal with the LPGA's toughness and accuracy. He predicted that she would have a harsh awakening if she attempted to compete professionally, characterizing her accuracy and short game as non-existent. The most contentious claim made by Auriemma was that her supporters disrespected professional golfers by thinking she could even compete on the course. There was an instant pushback. Social media was overrun by Clark's followers who saw Auriemma's remarks superfluous and patronizing. The tone startled even UConn basketball aficionados, many of whom wondered why Auriemma felt the need to openly disparage another player. Auriemma was terribly incorrect if he thought Clark would retaliate. Rather, Caitlin answered with her characteristic blend of confidence and humor, demonstrating once more why she is one of the most adored athletes in modern sports. She quipped, "I'm strong and I can hit it," acknowledging her lack of expertise. It simply doesn't go straight most of the time. This humorous remark highlighted her desire to grow and learn while deflecting the criticism. Playing alongside legends like Nelly Korda and Annika Stam was an incredible experience, she said, concentrating on the happiness she derives from golf. "I'm only here to enjoy myself and develop as an athlete." Clark also made the decision to draw attention to the tremendous amount of love she has gotten, expressing gratitude to her supporters for supporting and believing in her. Clark didn't have to stand up for herself. Some of the top names in golf defended her, praising her skill and potential in response to Auriemma's comments. Nelly Korda. Caitlin infuses women's golf with vitality and enthusiasm. Although she is fresh to the game, she has the competitive desire to win, and her motivations are outstanding. Jay Monahan, commissioner of the PGA Tour. Caitlin and other athletes are essential to the expansion of sports. She is demonstrating how crossover appeal can infuse golf with new audiences and vitality. Although Auriemma's remarks caused outrage, they also shed light on a larger issue. Few people are able to raise awareness of women's athletics and go beyond sports like Caitlin Clark. A game-changer was Clark's appearance at the Annika Prom. Sales of tickets surged, rising by an astounding 1,200%. There were people waiting in queue to see her play who had never been on a golf course. Many of them were holding handmade placards and sporting her basketball shirts. It was more than simply a golf competition. It was an occasion. Crowds were yelling her name and posting videos of her greatest performances on social media, creating an electrifying environment at Pelican Golf Club. There is more to Clark's golf venture than just her own goals. It's about removing obstacles between sports. Her star power and the unrealized potential of cross-sport promotion are demonstrated by her ability to entice basketball enthusiasts into the realm of golf. Caitlin is representing more than just basketball and golf, as LPGA veteran Annika Stam stated. She is an advocate for women's sports in general. In reaction to Auriemma's critique, Caitlin Clark gave a lesson in poise under duress. Here's the actual query, though. Can she improve her golf game enough to silence the doubters? Will her efforts be overshadowed by her conflict with one of the most legendary characters in basketball? Caitlin Clark's journey is far from over, and one thing is certain: she is not giving up. The majority of people think that signing with Nike, the most recognizable brand in sports, is the only option for athletes to ensure long-term success. What if, however, such belief is entirely false? The sports world was taken aback when Caitlin Clark opted for Under Armour rather than Nike. Here's the worst part. This audacious initiative has the potential to completely change how endorsement arrangements operate for athletes worldwide. Stay tuned to learn why this startling choice could mark the beginning of a new era in sports marketing. Caitlin Clark has disregarded convention in a sports world characterized by legendary alliances like Michael Jordan and Nike, Serena Williams and Nike, and LeBron James and Nike. When Clark indicated in an exclusive interview that she preferred Under Armour, rumors went viral. "I admire what LeBron has built with his brand and how he supports athletes," she remarked while discussing her idea for sponsorships. "I want to leave a legacy like that." What had begun as a harmless remark swiftly turned into a major dispute. Sports Insiders stated that Nike had been in discussions with Clark for a multi-million-dollar agreement, an offer most sportsmen would leap at. But Clark's apparent choice to connect with Under Armour has raised eyebrows across the business, with some seeing it as a direct challenge to Nike's supremacy and LeBron James standing as their brand athlete. Clark's choice has struck a chord with her supporters and Under Armour loyalists. With hashtags like Team Clark and Break the Mold circulating on social media, many saw this as a novel approach. She doesn't hesitate to take chances and follow her own path. A supporter said, "Caitlin Clark is proving that she's not just a basketball star, but a cultural icon in the making." Some applauded her for perhaps upending the sponsorship industry, contending that athletes shouldn't have to follow the Nike formula in order to be successful. On the other side of the issue, traditionalists warn that turning down Nike, a brand synonymous with worldwide sports supremacy, is a hazardous gambit that may backfire. One sports commentator remarked, "She's young and talented, but this could be a mistake. She would have received enormous visibility and rich partnerships if she had aligned with Nike. Under Armour just doesn't have the same reach." Some critics even claimed that this decision might hinder Clark's long-term marketability, particularly as she seeks to establish a following base that transcends basketball. Clark's public affection for LeBron James, one of Nike's most well-known athletes, is fueling the flames. There has been conjecture on whether she is opposing LeBron's power or positioning herself as a rival to his Nike empire in light of her remark that she admires what he has created. Is Caitlin Clark throwing shade at LeBron by partnering with his competitor, or is she paying homage to his blueprint by carving out her own unique path? Tweeted a prominent sports journalist, adding to the mystery. In any case, it's daring. Clark's action brings up significant issues regarding how athlete endorsements are changing. For many years, sportsmen who want to become worldwide icons have turned to Nike. However, by selecting Under Armour, Clark is heralding a change in which athletes may place a higher priority on authenticity and congruence with their principles than conventional marketing power. This might serve as a model for other young sportsmen, inspiring them to consider collaborations with up-and-coming companies instead of taking the conventional route. In the meantime, rumors of a rivalry between LeBron James and Caitlin Clark are still intensifying. Although the two are not directly at odds, Clark's choice has unavoidably sparked parallels. While some contend that her passion for LeBron shows a desire to imitate his success, others view her as a possible rival to James' power in the endorsement industry. In any case, the media frenzy has put both sportsmen under intense scrutiny, with supporters and detractors anxiously awaiting the outcome. Although Clark has not yet responded to the rumors regarding her collaboration with Under Armour, the debate has already improved her reputation as a trendsetter in the sports industry. According to reports, companies are lined up to make deals in an effort to profit from her rising notoriety and influence. Caitlin Clark's audacious decision to go with Under Armour rather than Nike has caused controversy, split fans, and raised the possibility of a rivalry with one of the all-time great athletes. However, was this a well-thought-out move or a dangerous risk that may backfire? The sports world is left wondering if Caitlin Clark could genuinely compete with LeBron James as a cultural icon as well as an athlete as she continues to shatter barriers on the court and in the endorsement game.
Our way. It just elevates this event in so many ways, and what Caitlin has done, not just in on the court, but just in general for for women and girls in sport, and such an inspiration and motivation. So, yeah, I really look forward to seeing your game tomorrow.
If you're a basketball player, but just a recreational golfer like Caitlin is, the delusional fan base that follows her disrespects the LPGA golfers by thinking she can go into this tournament and do anything.
I honestly just got so triggered by Caitlin Clark's golf debut, and it is no fault of hers that I got upset. It is the fault of the WNBA, because the LPGA just did everything that the WNBA should have been doing this season. They did it all correct in literally...
At the Annika Prom, Caitlin Clark shocks the golf world by defeating LPGA stars. The majority of people believe that basketball players like Caitlin Clark are only dominant on the court, leaving other sports to the experts. But what if I told you that belief is totally false? Caitlin Clark didn't simply hold her own when she entered the golf field. She defeated some of the top players in the game. If you believe that this was just beginner's luck, wait till you learn how she accomplished it and why it's revolutionizing our understanding of crossover athletes.